People assume that poor or underserved communities don't read, and that is so not true.
Author Sarah Rafael Garcia, pictured in these newspaper clippings inside the bookstore, created Libro Mobile because she wanted to promote literacy in the community by sharing stories that represented them.
A lot of people don't know enough about me to understand why Santa Ana is home to me, and I think I have to start with my birth origins and my family's migration story, because that is what brought me here. One of my uncles joined the military to receive his U.S. citizenship when you still could overnight, and as gente are, right? Like, he said, hey, I was giving housing, come and stay with me, have a new beginning, change, the narrative for our children, come to California. And my parents came and we lived on base for 6 months, not knowing that we weren't supposed to be. And that kind of set the place for us in Santa Ana, because soon after, when we were reported that we were living on base as civilians, not only that, not just as civilians, but my parents were not U.S. citizens, they were residents, right? We had to vacate the home on base and find a different place to live, and luckily we were fortunate to find a place in Santa Ana. Libro Mobile's history started with this book cart, and this book cart was not a book cart to start with. It was a gardening cart, right? So you could see the green cubbies. The other side didn't exist. Obviously this was not on it. And it was donated to me as an idea of, oh, we know you have digestive issues and maybe you need to plant your own gardens to be able to nurture yourself. But right away I said, this isn't a planting cart, this is a book cart. This is our Orange County Mutual Aid Community Pantry. This is something that it was always an idea, but not necessarily an immediate necessity until last summer. So we have shelves, and one of the biggest priorities are baby goods. So we have baby goods, usually in and out every week. We have dry goods, and that's how we started before we had the fridge. So we have a lot of canned food and dry goods that come in regularly, as well as different, like either diapers for children or feminine products for women. So a little bit of everything. We're actually partnered with the Vietnamese Arts and Letters Association, so we are one of the booksellers for Viet Book Fest, which happens on April 12th. So we are in the midst of collecting books, and we collect books for this event starting in January through April, because that is our best selling event we have in the year. The Vietnamese American community from Orange County and beyond, as well as some other folks in the community who appreciate the Vietnamese culture, show up to this event, and they buy all the books, because on the table we only have Vietnamese American books.
I think Sarah has changed the landscape of literature for our county, really. I don't know, I mean, even just on my small scale, the fact that I'm writing, that I'm publishing, and that's a reflection of her work. And so, yeah, I really do think she's changed the landscape for the written word in Orange County. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think for me, being able to teach at a university that supports me as a professor, as a community-based scholar, as a bookstore owner, speaks volumes to what I get to do in the classroom too. And my goal is, yes, to teach them something they can walk away from, or to receive the grade that they aspire to receive in my class. But most importantly is to stress the importance of challenging the narratives out in society about them, about their gender, about their ethnicity, about their peers, about their ideas. You know, so often we are conditioned to believe we need a degree to have a voice or to make something of ourselves. And I tell students, you're a writer now. Just because you don't have a degree doesn't make you any less of a writer. You're a historian now. You have a way to represent history and tell a story about it so people can relate to it now. much of my drive to offer this information or to create a bookstore that offers resources is that we should all have access to the resources that other people are raised believing to have. And there's so many missed opportunities within our communities, especially within people of color communities, especially with lower income communities, that we don't realize we have access to education or resources to keep us with a roof over our head and food to eat on a daily basis. So it's not just me. I'm just fortunate that I was able to start this position in the community because I had a grant to start a bookstore, right? But as far as everything else, I'm just creating awareness, and I hope that other people continue to support us so that we can do it together.